It's Sarah again, and today we are covering part 2 in our series about eggs. Today's subject is soft-boiled eggs. Soft-boiled eggs can be a little bit tricky because there's so little time that you're actually playing with. There are a number of different approaches to soft-boiled eggs. Do you put the eggs in cold water, hot water? Do you take the eggs out of the refrigerator? La la la. Here's my method. I take the eggs from the refrigerator, I put them in cold water, and the reason that some people like myself do that is the theory is if you put a cold egg in cold water and it comes to temperature with the water, it is less likely to do that exploding thing that eggs do. Which in my opinion kind of ruins the egg, so I don't want it to explode. So I'm going to put eggs in a single layer. Eggs, like potatoes or just about anything else, are always going to cook more evenly in a single layer than if you pile them up on top of each other. So I'm just going to do 2 eggs today, so I'm going to use this small pan. This is a copper pan, which is the perfect conductor for eggs because it changes temperature very quickly. So you don't want to use a cast iron pan that's going to come up to temperature very slowly and hold the temperature. That's for like beans and stews and whatnot. You don't want that for an egg. So choose your fastest cooking vessel, which would be copper if you have it, or aluminum, or stainless steel is actually a slow heat conductor, but and then the thing is with eggs is you want to put enough water to cover them plus about 1 inch. Okay, like I said in my previous video, the more volume of water, the harder it is going to be to change the temperature of that water quickly. All right, so I'm going to cover this with water, cold. I'm going to put it on the stove, and I'm going to cook it at what I call a soft boil. And that means like smaller bubbles, not big raucous bubbles, because again, that's going to be more likely to crack the egg. All right, so I'll join you again at the stovetop in a sec. All right, so we're back here at the stove, and if you can see that there's just starting to be these tiny little bubbles, I start timing from this point. And a soft-boiled egg traditionally is a 3-minute egg. So we're going to set the timer, and as soon as that goes off, I'm going to shock the eggs with cold water so that they stop cooking, and then they'll be ready to eat. All right, so the timer is about to go off, but I thought before it does, I wanted you to see the boil, which is what I call a soft boil. It is boiling, it's just not violent. And the heat is on low at this point. And any second now. All right, so that's our timer. So I'm going to shut the heat off, and I'm going to immediately take this over to the sink. I'm going to drain the water, and I'm going to shock it with cold water. Great, so what I've done is I shocked the eggs in the cold water. Now this is slightly different when we're doing a soft-boiled egg than a hard-boiled egg, because with a hard-boiled egg you're going to leave it in there, in the cold water. Soft-boiled egg, we shock it with the cold water so it stops cooking. But obviously you don't want to eat a cold soft-boiled egg. So you shock it and then you move it over to your egg cup or your plate, whatever. So there are 2 ways to approach a soft-boiled egg. It's not possible to peel a soft-boiled egg, so your choices are to put it in an egg cup like this, in which case you use a sharp knife and you take the top off. And then it helps if you have an adorable little espresso spoon like this, but you need a small sharp spoon, and then you just eat your egg out of here. Ooh, that is perfect. Out of this little egg cup. I like my soft-boiled eggs on toast, so I just do it right on the plate. Like that. Put my toast on here. Use the little spoon, scoop it right on my toast. Just want you to see that. See how the white is set, but the yolk is nice and soft. That's a perfectly soft boiled egg. If the white is still runny, and some people like that, that's called a coddled egg. And a coddled egg is a 1 minute egg. That's going to be a runny egg though. That's like barely warm, really. So here are our two options, in an egg cup or on your toast. Just to reiterate, the white is nice and firm, yolk deliciously runny still. So that's it. Soft boiled egg demystified. All right, so that's our soft boiled egg. Join me for the next segment, which will be, you guessed it, hard boiled eggs. Bye.